How in the hell are we all doing? Let's say those famous words. But this time, let's get cooking some shit. How is everybody? Everybody have a good time last night? Enjoy the stream? It was a good stream. I just want to touch base on that actually very, very quickly. I want to first of all thank Jeff and JT and Tyndall for having me last night. It was an honor, it was a privilege, and I respect it. Yeah, I had a ball and I had fun. I don't know if you guys understand how much that meant to me, and that goes to you three. On a different note, I want to ask you guys a favor, please. Another one, and that is to give this with Scott TCB. Please give them the space. Let things cool down, and don't react for the sake of reacting. Don't attack. Don't do anything. Just let them work it out. They're grown men, and I'm sure once things settle down, everybody will talk. But please, don't go attacking Tyndall. Don't go attacking Haggy. And certainly don't go attacking TCB. And just please give them the respect that they rightfully deserve in situations like this. Please give them the respect they deserve. Last night's stream was a ball. I had a blast. I was having so much fun with Tyndall and Haggy, and especially the cooking parts. Tyndall and I, before everything went haywire, was talking about doing an Iron Chef series. And I don't know if many of you are familiar with an Iron Chef. What that is, hold on one second. If you folks know what that is, if you go to like Food Network or even Google it on your browser or even YouTube, I apologize. The contractors are here today, and they're just about finishing the upstairs, and I'll get into that in a second here too. Iron Chef. It's two chefs in a kitchen. Allowed time limit. One ingredient. Make as much as you can. Not volume, quantity. Quality is, I guess, the word for it. And I think that's something that I will enjoy doing with Tyndall. And I was very excited when him and I were poking brains about it a little while ago. Some things will have to change. I don't necessarily think we can do a time limit or anything like that, but I think, both of us can kind of... We'll figure it out, and we'll get it back to you. One of the reasons why I have put off my cooking series is because this house is being remodeled. It's being redone. And I haven't... It's way behind. And this kitchen is going to be torn down as well, and that's also one of the reasons why I have not gotten into it, because I am waiting for this new kitchen. It's going to be a lot more update, more what I am looking for, coming from a commercial kitchen and stuff like that. But last night's stream, Tyndall and I were talking about this Iron Chef, and hopefully come the new year, we can possibly get that all worked out with what's going on with that. And, let's get the holidays out of the way, let me get my house done, and then I think we can start concentrating on about getting some quality videos up for you on cooking and stuff like that. But today is nothing more than what I was talking with Haggy and Tyndall and JT on the stream last night, was a gravy. I'm obviously not going to go into great lengths on this whole thing. It's going to be cut and dry. This is by no means... It's just a basic understanding of how gravies work and how simple they really are. And that's all this tutorial is going to be, is how to make a basic gravy. And it all kind of begins with your roast or your ham or turkey or whatever the hell you may be cooking. You know, you unwrap it, you season it, you get that puppy in the oven, and you bake the fucking hell out of it and make it a work of art. On the bottom of your pans, you're going to see what's known as pan drippings. This is water. This is fat. These are flavors that have all been baked out of whatever the hell you may created. Okay? A real gravy will start with this. Is those pan drippings. And you can get into fancy stuff with deglazing and wines and all that type of stuff with deglazing. This is not going to be that way because obviously I'm not cooking a roast. I'm not doing anything, but I'm just trying to explain the fundamentals of what you're going to see. We all know, I'm going to get a visual. We all know how water and oil react. And what it does is that they're not friends. All right? Water. Plain simple water. Oil. What this does is at the bottom of your pan, you've got your pan drippings. And oil and water don't meld together. They separate. And that's what you've got going on in the bottom of your cooking pan. Is all of those flavors and things like that that's going on down in there. I'm sure you can see that, but you can see how the oil and the water are separated. And that's the same thing that's going on in your roasting pan. Now, sometimes this isn't enough, sometimes it is. But hold on one second. I got to get you guys readjusted. You're a little high for me. All right, there we go. What was I saying? You want to make what's called a roux. You want to extract those oils from that pan as best as you can. A lot of people will take out the roast. You know how you let it rest before you carve it and all that type of stuff. Fucking brain fart. Ain't that a bitch? Before you start carving your roast, you know that this is the time where you'll prepare that gravy, and what you'll do is you'll extract those oils and waters. You can set it off into your refrigerator, let those oils congeal. You know how you put fat into a refrigerator, when it cools down, it solidifies. It makes it a lot easier to work with. And if you got that type of time, great. If you don't, it becomes a little bit more difficult in skimming off that fat. And sometimes you don't have enough. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put a pause in this, because what I want to do is I want to get this cigarette out of here, because now we're going to start cooking. I want to get you angled down this way so I can show you what's going to transpire here. So hold on 1 minute. I'll be right back. Alright, that kind of looks pretty good. What you see in front of you is regular, ordinary butter. Nothing more than what you would find in your pan drippings and things like that. Over here I've got a saute pan that's been warming up. Now what we're going to make is called a roux. It's equal parts flour to equal parts butter. We'll get a piece of that cut off. I'm not going to make a great deal. Get our butter melted down. Okay? This is where you would want to cut up onions and whatever you may want, your roots, your onions, your carrots, your shallots, your garlic, anything along those lines. This is where a lot of that will come into play. Is to start to saute this stuff down in with your fat. We're using butter today, and there's nothing wrong with it. If you're in a bind and need a quick fix for a gravy, this is an easy solution, because you can get into some crazy stuff with demi-glosses and au jus and like Tyndall and I were talking, is that there's just so many variables about this, about gravies. One of the things that it holds true, and I'm a kind of a firm believer in it. If you can't make a soup or a gravy, you don't belong in a kitchen. Because everything else isn't going to work for you, because those are the basic starter points of anything. You start with a base. Now, our butter is melted down. Okay? I can go into variable temperatures of butter. Butter burns at certain temps. But what transpires in between that is like brown butter. And if you can do it right by controlling the heat and things like that, you can achieve this incredible taste of butter you never would have thought. It's got a very nut taste to it, and it's dynamite to bring to a gravy or anything like that. It enhances everything. It's all about enhancing flavors from what you've already got. Our butter is melted down. I got my flour. I need a whisk. This pan's a little bit of overkill. Now, what we're going to do here... shit. Alright. I'm going to pause this for 1 second. I want to get you guys up here and closer to the saute pan so you can see what's going on. Be right back. Alright, I'm going to kind of do this one-handed for the moment, because I don't want you guys to miss this. There's our flour. There's our butter. And now what we're going to do is make a roux. This will thicken our whoops, sorry about that, because I'm holding this by hand and I'm trying to stabilize it so you guys can see what I'm doing here. You're gonna make this roux, and what you want to do is continuously to cook out this flour. You got your onions, you got your garlic, you got your shallots, whatever you got going on there. But anyways, that is a roux right then and there, and this is your thickening agent for your gravy. You can use all sorts of stuff. Cornstarch for slurries, things like that. Like I said, Tyndall, he hit it on the head. That's all you're going to need. A lot of this is trial and error. So let's get the next step over here. Let's get this off to the side. We need that. All right. So what we got here is nothing more than a saucepan. Let me get some water in it, without trying to kill you guys at the same time and lose it. Alright, there's our water. Alright, now, if this was the roast and everything like that, this would be your pan drippings. All of that flavor at the bottom of the pan is intense. I can't stress how incredible a fresh gravy is from your pan drippings. It's amazing. And you can bring it even further by, once you get all of that extracted out, put it on a high flame and hit it with some cooking wine and deglaze it and bring even more flavors out that are just powerful. Anyways, we're going to get this going for argument's sake. We're going to get this going. We're going to get this up to, temperature. Now, if you're in a bind, you'll see in your grocery stores beef base, chicken base, ham base, etc., etc., etc. I would recommend making stocks. This is where you can take your bones from your roast beefs, anything, and you throw it into a stock pot with all of your garbage, from your ends to your carrots to your onions, anything, and make a stock. Let it boil and boil and boil and bring all of those flavors out from all of that stuff. This is a whole nother section of where you can get crazy and stuff like that. But as this comes to a boil, how am I going to open this with one hand? Alright, I'll be right back. Hold on 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. One thing about bases, these things that you can buy in the store, be very careful about the sodium. They can be a bit salty. And that can hold true with your pan gravies. Technically, not so much, but yes, with these. I don't have an exact measurement for this, because what I do and how I cook, I start off small and I add. And it's a very important thing to remember. You can always add, but you can never take out. So always start small, and you can fix it by adding small amounts of it. So like for this particular gravy, I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to serve it. But well, I mean, well, maybe depends upon how it turns out. Because I'm just kind of throwing this together for you guys and to get Haggy up a video and show them. Get that all dissolved. And this is what your beef base would start, you know, your bases that I was talking to you about, all those bones and stuff like that. You made a stock. This is what your stock would look like. This is where your stock would be at this particular moment in life. All right? Once you get all of that down and dissolved nicely and where you're going and seasoned and stuff like that, your onions, your stuff like that, all of that good stuff. Now you're going to... Yeah, it's actually not bad. Just for, you know, you're going to bring together your roux. Now, hold on a second. I do have to put you on pause because I got to scrape this down and get that in that pot. I'll be right back in uno momento. Now, all I did was just put the flour from there into there. Working with roux can be dangerous. Adding too much, you'll end up with something that's harder than concrete. Too little, it won't, you'll just sit there with a stew. Both stock and the roux need to be at equal temperatures for it to start to activate. It's got a little bit hot. Once the water comes to a boil, whisk. Be careful of lumps and things like that. You can always sift it through if you do end up sifting it. You can get that roux out. Now, what you can see here, what's going on, is that tightened right up. Ah, I'm breaking everything. Can you see that? That tightened right up. Once this comes to a boil, and what you see is what you get. Depending upon how thick you want it, and how thin you want it, that's entirely up to you. But that is a gravy. Hit it with some half and half. Hit it with some bay leaves, something along those lines. Adjust your flavor, adjust your taste. Keep tasting. An important rule is you got to taste everything. Try it. Make sure you like it. Add this. Didn't like that. It's all done in trial and error. Trolls, by the way, next time you come back, this shit will be all gone. It'll be a nice state-of-the-art kitchen. Well, maybe not commercial, but it'll be a nice kitchen. We're remodeling, so fuck off. If you think I'm a goddamn slob and my kids live like in hell. Piss off, bitch. Anyways, back to good old me. There's your gravy. It's that simple. Any questions, comments, concerns? Let me know. And I'll be happy to walk you through it or do it in the best of my ability to explain it to you. Anyways, my friends. Little tutorial for Jeff. And gravies and stuff like that. And for you folks as well. Love you all. Thank you very much for the response for the hashtag yesterday. I've got a good deal of all of that out there. And you guys are certainly the best. And I love you all for all of that. I'll see you all. Hit me up on them Twitter. Watch the live streams. Be good. Be good. And remember, just give those guys their space. Let them work it out. Don't go in making it worse. Let the trolls do that. Don't be a troll. Peace, my friends.